What's happening? Andy here. I am joined today again by Dave Farrell of PaperCut. How are you doing today?
Life is good, Andy. As good as can be.
Good as can be. And you are still, where are you? You're out west. You're in the Oregon.
Portland, good old Portland, Oregon. Still out west.
All
Living
right.
the dream from the home office.
And how is Portland now? You guys are so home office. You said, are you back at all to the real office or not yet?
You know what? Some of this comes down, I guess, it being a software company. We don't have to be in full time. But I made the call about a month ago. We're going to keep the office closed until spring, because what people wanted more than anything is to be able to plan. Because it's just every week or every month going, are we coming back? Are we not? We do have people that go in occasionally. I've been in a couple of times to the office just to get a well-being day, to get away from this office and in there. But now we're slow rolling that back in to the office. So probably springtime is, and a lot of companies around are doing the same thing.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's I actually was out at your office. What was it, earlier this year? It was before the world changed, and I look forward to getting back out there someday. It was a great area, great location, right in the middle of downtown on the river like that, and a nice old building. Actually, one of my last trips, I got this T-shirt from one of your partners. This is my just so I didn't show favorites. I have my ACDI T-shirt on and my
Eco Print Q, love that, and ACDI.
For your two great partners over here. And let's just take a step back, talk about who PaperCut is. PaperCut's one of the world's biggest, most well-known print management companies, right? You're not the only one, but you're certainly one of the more well-known ones. Why don't you give us a little bit of a background on who's PaperCut?
Yeah, so PaperCut, global company, we're in over 100 countries globally, large footprint of over 1 million MFDs right now. We've got licenses out there, and we're right in the print management space. That's our core. We're a clear number 2 in the market right now, behind a big player there, but we're catching them every year. So Australian-based company, a little bit quirkier than you're going to find in this industry. We're a different type of company, but we're steadfast on a customer-first mindset in everything we do. And all in all, pure play software companies are weathering this storm, I think, a bit better than most, and that's what we are.
Well, that's good to hear. And I know your team back in Australia will also be watching this, and actually you're all over the world. You do have people everywhere. I know you've got people in Kansas, you've got people in Chicago, Joe, Rubino, and
all over the place, Florida.
US, but Melbourne was great. I visited out there a couple of years ago, did a presentation and visited. I got a tour of the facility down there and met all the coffee baristas, because that's the most important part of PaperCut. And I know print
we are all trained baristas,
but the baristas are up here, right? So busy time for print management, and which is why we wanted to catch up with you again. And it seems like you are on quite a bit, but there's been so much happening with Google Cloud, with Microsoft, with Universal Print. So in the last week, we had more big news, and it really, I'm guessing, wasn't an accident that it came on the heels of some big print management news that we had in the industry last week. So you had a new update, a new version that just got released. Last time I talked to Jamie, it was when Universal Print had just come out a few months ago. So here we are, probably 2-3 months later. What's happened in the last few months, and let us give us an update on what's going on with PaperCut and what you guys are up to.
Absolutely. First of all, it's good to talk to you again, Andy. It's not frequent enough. It's amazing how fast 2 months can go by, just like that. I'd say just on the people side, we're not back in the office yet. It's probably Zoom overload, like most people have there. But I think more, if I look back the last couple of months, I think I'm missing people. A lot of us are missing the human interaction more than we were in the past. So, but all in all, a little advice for people out there. One of the bright spots in our company sent, her name's Liz, she sent a 1,000-piece puzzle around to all of our employees. And it was kind of fun to put that together. The competitive spirits came out and who could finish first. But what a simple way to just send a note to your teams and say, hey, go have a well-being day and knock out a puzzle. So there's a little tip for you there. But in terms of I hit a couple of things on kind of what's happened over the last few months for us. I know a lot of people, a lot of the resellers are wondering what's going on in the market for us right now, because we're a pretty good test of being print management. We have a lot of visibility of what's going on out there. So I look at some of the leading indicators that we have. We have a product that's free on our website called PaperCut Views. And we've tracked over 1.4 billion pages on that free version. People use it for forecasting and things, but that gives us a good leading indicator. And you know what it showed, Andy, is sequential increases in print counts all the way since April, but October's been slower. And I'm hearing that around now that we're a couple days towards the end of October. Something happened in October. I don't know if it's the election, if it's return to school, remote, whatever it is, but a little bit of a hiccup. But we had seen increases, and that followed in our support tickets, web traffic, all those other indicators. We were seeing sequential improvements every month since April. October a little bit slower, so we'll figure out whether that's a trend. Vertical market wise, you know, I was surprised education over the last few months, the July, August, September, those purchases held in better than we thought. And the theory is there was a lot of infrastructure readiness work going on. Google Cloud Print deprecation, things like that. Everyone was readying for a stronger IT infrastructure. And then the remote hybrid learning, you know, all these schools called their shots there. Healthcare has remained strong. I think if you talk to most resellers out there, they'll tell you it's one of the bright spots. So healthcare is strong for us, and then legal, shared offices. So there are some bright spots out there. You mentioned Google. We've spent a lot of time here over the last couple of months and have done it for years, well, especially on the Google front, but looking at our partnerships. During these difficult times, what can you do with your partnerships? So really happy last week, I saw in your letter as well, Chrome Enterprise recommended. So Google recommended us and our solutions. We have over 3.5 million Chromebooks running PaperCut right now. And that number continues to grow every month, which is fantastic. So that partnership's gone well.
For education, right? The Chromebook has become ubiquitous.
Huge. Think of it right now. My kids, I got 4 kids right now, and I still have 4, but they're upstairs right now studying, and they're on Chromebooks. You know, they're all Zoom calls and Chromebooks. You know, and they need to print, and they're printing through PaperCut.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool.
They're not printing at school; they're printing at home now.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the sustainability side as well, Andy, we didn't come off that one. You know, the partnerships, we've doubled down on key partnerships, but the sustainability front as well. During COVID, we planted a tree for every new customer we got as part of the Carbon Positive Australia. That's something I'm going to push here with the team. I want to bring that a little closer to home in the US in particular and really double down. I'd like to get to the point where we're planting a tree for every software license we sell.
Wouldn't that be cool? That's an awesome idea. You should do that.
Yeah, and that's just something, and we might actually ask for some help from some partners out there. And then the last area I'd say over the last couple of months, and we spoke about this a little bit, supporting the ecosystem. You know, I think it's an imperative for all of us to support one another through this. So I remain humbled and extremely proud of our ASCs and our paper cutters who've developed the content. Our training certifications, you won't believe this, 8,000 people have completed our certification training now, year to date, up 240%. And we still have 2 months to go.
And you're not the only one training. Your partners, EcoPrintQ,
Eco, and same with ACDI, they're out pushing that.
They're training like crazy too. Their numbers are both through the roof. So, and I'm sure your partners overseas are seeing similar things. So training right now is the place to be. I mean, this industry does have an opportunity to sort of take a step back and retrench and learn a little bit more detail about what we do. I mean, that's been one of the curses of our industry is that, you get a salesperson, you throw them out in there with as much information as quickly as possible. And, there's always more they could know. Right. So
yes,
your credit, taking the time, building more of a training infrastructure for them and more courses, more availability, that's awesome for them.
And Andy, along those lines, like we've seen those partners that have embraced that. We've seen some shorter sales cycles in some cases, but the big thing we saw is that renewals for us if you think about uncertainty on MPS contracts, and do I want to place another 3-year or 5-year contract? A lot of companies are just taking a deep breath saying, let's assess as we start getting through this thing. So renewals for another year, another 2 years on the software, great annuity stream, and all that training is enabling these great salespeople to go in and have that conversation. Another annuity stream out there for people. And our renewals have remained extremely strong through this.
So annuity streams are always, that's the key to our whole industry. So let's shift gears a little bit, talk about a new annuity stream that seems to be popping up in this industry and very quickly. And back, I mentioned when I was visiting you guys last time, the big buzz was cloud, right? And it wasn't here. You were right on the tip of it. You guys were right there, but it wasn't ready. It was, it was still, I think 3 versions away at that point. I I think you guys come out with a version every year, right? Isn't that it? Or at least
we'll get 2 or 3 versions a year.
Yeah, so it was 2 years out. We'll just say that. So,
yeah.
But it was already being talked about. You knew it was coming. You knew it was going to be a complete game changer for PaperCut. So let's talk about, your cloud platform and what's going on there, and what have you been doing there in the last, maybe 6 months or so?
Yeah, I think the first thing is, we have what's called PaperCut MF, and that's been our flagship. That's often installed in on-prem, people on their servers in their own locations. Lots of great reasons for that. But we have seen a trend where people are asking to also host that type of software. So in parallel, we've been developing for the last 2.5 years what we'll call a cloud native platform. And it is designed to be hosted natively in the cloud from the line 1 code rewrite. So 2.5 years into this thing, optimized for cloud. So this has been fun. And I think if you talk internally right now, one of the buzzes inside PaperCut is the confidence in the platform itself. There are so many cool aspects to this platform: security first mindset, continuous deployment of feature sets. Same way on this call. If Zoom puts in a new feature for background pictures or live videos in the background, it just comes. Right? That's part of cloud. The feature's just constantly coming in there. But the platform itself is really optimized around cloud environments, which is a lot of fun. Right now, phase-wise, we are in our late stage beta with a number of key partners, OEMs and resellers. And the beauty we have here is we're going to pressure test that platform as hard as we can and in as many environments as we can before we go in and project ourselves as like, go sell this in every customer you want across the board. We want to make sure it's hardened. So, but before the end of the calendar year, you'll see a more traditional launch from us on making announcements through the channel. But rest assured, this is in hundreds, if not thousands of customer sites now being used and hardened, which is a lot of fun. I did also want to mention, we brought in an industry guru, some might know, but his name's Matt Schotten. Yeah. So the name may come up. Some people on this that are listening might know him, but I'll tell you, it's just been a blessing having Matt in. But he's focusing on channel activation for that new cloud platform. And our products will be called Pocket and Hive, respectively. And so I want to get Matt in here with you probably over the next few weeks, just to kind of blow some air and excitement around that new cloud platform, which is cool.
I think I ran a Hive article maybe last month. I think you had a blog article that we ran on the website. So he's the cloud activation guy. We'll definitely chat with him. What else does he bring to the table? He just joined you, right? So he's getting better.
Almost 3 months. Yeah, almost 3 months.
He's already at 3 months?
That's unbelievable. It's almost 3 months.
Oh my gosh, time is just flying with this. So, all right, so 3 months in, he must be halfway through his year. He's a quarter of the way.
Should be done.
He
knows everything.
All right.
No, he's coming. He's a quick learner anyway, and he just brought so much industry knowledge as well. But he's been fantastic. But one of the areas that he brought in, as well as listening to our resellers, even if you look at our flagship product of MF, we got requests. We've been in a perpetual business model. And as you said, a lot of companies want to move to that annuity stream. So they want subscription-based pricing flexibility. So November 1st, we'll launch through our channel all of subscription pricing. It'll sit alongside perpetual pricing. That's helpful. And then we've been working with ACDI and EcoPrintQ. They're going to offer hosting services as well for PaperCut MF. So those that want to remove cloud infrastructure, IT resources focused in another area for our flagship MF products, that ASC channel through EcoPrintQ and ACDI, they're locked and loaded to be able to host here as well.
I'm really interested to see how the subscription pricing goes. It's become such just a general part of the way we live, right? I mean, I don't even want to look at my credit card statement because it's also you've got Hulu, you've got Pandora, you've got Apple, you've got everything, Dropbox, and some for business, some for home, some for both. But if you really just went through and added up, each one of them on their own, $5, $10, $15, it's not a big deal, right? And so when you look at it like that and you present it to a customer and you break it down to that simplicity and you get it to a billing in a way that they're comfortable and they're used to paying, and then, oh, by the way, once they're paying it, they forget about it, right?
That's right.
And the only time that it gets brought up is when you go back as a salesperson and say, look, we're here to talk about a new program or a renewal or something that's different. Other than that, it just goes on perpetually, right? And that's that's just a way better way to do business. It really is. And then you get, you know, you don't get stuck with those customers that won't renew. Everybody's got the latest software, the latest versions.
They're getting new features. You're getting waterfall of features or evergreening of features all the time. So you're another opportunity to go back in and remind them of, hey, do you know you just got this, this, and this? That's tremendous in your print management journey. So yeah, it changes everything. And we've spent a lot of time preparing the channel as well for cloud over these last number of months. So one thing I do want to plug here, if you go to PaperCut and look at our blogs, you'll see Cloud 101, 102, 103, and 104. If I were in sales or related fields out there in the channel, I would be reading those blogs religiously. They really cover some key topics around public versus private cloud, single versus multi-tenant solution, print management infrastructure in the cloud. Why would you even want to consider it? Really helps you get more knowledgeable, and we've put a lot of our experts on that content. So
great reading for sales reps in our world. I generally run just about every single one of those. So you can either see them on my website, or I'll try to remember to put a link in the description of this video, this interview, below. Again, moving on, I don't want to take up your entire day here, but you're right on the, you just yesterday actually released 20.1, right? 20.1. I saw it on social media, and let's talk about what's new in it. What did you guys add to it?
Yeah, so we just yesterday, channel availability was yesterday, and then I think the 1st of November it goes live on, so channel can put it out on customers. So a couple of things there. One, we put a new data integration platform in there, and that's one of the themes we've seen emerge here, right? Tell me more about what's happening with my data, my print management. Are my duplex numbers in line with where we wanted them to be? Do I have a cost savings element to this? So business intelligence, BI tools, you hear Tableau and Power BI, all those tools. We just built an API pipeline to really be able to feed that. ACDI just launched ACDI storyboards. Then we're working with another partner called Intuitive BI they're leveraging those plugins to be able to go into the customers and provide better insights based on the reporting data there, which is fantastic. And then what we're moving across in cloud, their cloud native products started this, but we're moving more towards continuous deployment of feature set rather than 20.0, 20.1, 20.2, and they happen every quarter or every other quarter. So security enhancements are in this release. You'll see continuous deployments around that. And then we've just added a number of areas for cloud print as well. With the deprecation of Google Cloud Print, we got to make sure that we can completely cover that space. I would also like to offer number 2, in addition to Matt Schotten, we'll get Willem in here who runs that, and he'll walk you through Google Cloud Print deprecation. We've had a ton of calls from IT professionals going, what's my alternative? What do I do? So all those are in 20.1. Exciting release.
Excellent, excellent. So just to, I guess, wind down then, crystal ball, what are we, 2021's rolling in, we're closing in on the end of this year. Most of us would like to put it behind us.
Yeah.
I think some of us probably hung in there, and maybe there's some dealers that figured some things out, but overall everyone would just sort of wish this year didn't happen. What's your crystal ball say?
Yeah, so first of all, let's start with some good news, right? I was just reading that QCirca report on
QCirca, yes.
QCirca, thank you. QCirca on state of the channel, and that was Western Europe and the U.S. And almost 2/3 of the respondents expected 2021 to be considerably better than 2020. That's great. And then about 1/3 of the respondents expect cloud to be, the next big thing for the next couple of years. So we're right on those trends. That's really good. So my 2 cents, and you get what you pay for here, Andy. So, I think today, if you just look today, remote and hybrid office, that's going to continue. So things like touch-free printing and all those value props around enabling mobility print will occur. Accelerating the transition to digital workflows. I would imagine when we look back at this retroly that you probably will shave a couple of years off the adoption cycle to digital workflows through this transition. And so those resellers that have got the skills to understand cloud infrastructure, security, helping people make those pivots, they're going to come out much stronger. Cost avoidance and security. Those are the things today. And then I put the second bucket are things that I call kind of maybe the rubber band effect. They're not the things that we're talking about, but we're stretching the rubber band. And at some point we'll let it go and it snaps into front of mind questions. And that's lowering IT infrastructure investments. So IT teams can focus on other areas. Cloud will play a big role in there. And then sustainability. Sustainability, when you look at carbon neutral footprints, that will be top of mind for many companies. And so, making sure you got the sustainability story. And then we've got a few things in the pipeline that I'll just tease it with this. We view in our heart of hearts that one of our roles here is to help assist this channel in becoming more consultative with their customers. So that not just data, but the insights we enable on a mobile device before you walk into a sales call, those have to be something that gives you a right to be there beyond the cost per page is this or how your printer's running. It's got to be at levels 10x that. So we're doing a ton of things around that. And that's one of the areas I'm most excited about going forward is helping this channel become even more consultative. And we've got some incredible offerings coming down the pipe there.
Well, honestly, that's a great way to be in this day and age where, we finally hit the point where reps just don't walk in and say, what did you have before? I'll replace it. Right now, it's the time and when everyone should be saying, and hopefully they are, hey, things have changed for you and you probably don't need what you had before. Let's look at how you're working and take the opportunity to refit this fleet and right-size things for you. So, print management is right in the middle of that. You guys are obviously a leader in that. So kudos to you and everything that you guys have going on. And I know it's been a big couple of months for you. I'm blown away that you and companies like you are able to, just keep pushing forward the way you are right now with this disruption, with this change. And I mean, I guess you guys were already all over the world anyways, so it probably was just, you're just on a different IP address than you normally would be. But, it's been amazing to see everybody coming out and, new hardware comes out, new software comes out. It's just time marching forward and, the products keep coming and we've just got to figure out how to, make them relevant and help the customers with them. That's, that's what we've done in the past and that's what we need to keep doing.
Totally, 100% agree. And, the last prediction I'll give you, because you get what you pay for, I think it'll be Chiefs Bucks in the Super Bowl. We'll see what happens, There's your prediction. Place your bets.
Brady, Tampa Bay Buccaneers to be in the Super Bowl.
There it is.
I know
there it is. That's awesome.
We've suffered for a while now, and man, it was just one of those things where you're thinking like we finally got all the pieces, and they're going to cancel this season. So we're almost halfway, right? Fingers crossed. We're doing okay as Tampa fans and just football fans in general, right? So hopefully it gets through the season and we get it in. But other than that, Dave, great catching up with you.
You too, Andy.
At some point we'll be able to hang out at one of these meetings again, but not anytime in the near future. So
doesn't look like it, but I'm looking forward to
everybody over there and be well. And any last shout outs?
No, I just want to wish everyone a happy holiday season. I mean, the mental health issues and everything that are going around us. We'll get through this election and keep your team safe, keep your sanity through the process, and enjoy your time with the families. The holiday season's a fun time, so let's make the most of it and look forward to seeing everyone soon.
Yes, let's get through this election. Let's get through this holiday, and everybody have a great rest of the week. And we'll talk soon, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.
Thanks so much, Andy.